Hello my friends, it's Gabriel with the Last Huntsman channel here, and today we're going to be discussing EDC fixed blade knives. Alright, so in this video we're going to be discussing EDC fixed blade knives, and so some of the things I'm going to be mentioning is certain models that appeals to me, you know, and what I like. It may not, you know, be for everybody, but also certain characteristics that I look for, certain size ranges, certain kind of steels, you know, certain handle profiles and such. And so this is kind of a spin-off of my survival knives for tactical loadout video that I did, but this is going to be kind of more so for fixed blade EDC knives and kind of what I personally look for. So let's check into a few different knives that I like. Alright, so I'm going to be discussing EDC fixed blades, and these are the four that I mainly gravitate towards. So, you know, I've tried a lot of different EDC fixed blades over the years, and I've bounced around some, and over the years I've kind of gotten down to about 3 or 4 that I really like to carry on me. And so I'm going to be discussing these 3 or 4, and you know, I'm not going to say that this is the be all end all list for all EDC fixed blade knives, but these are the 4 that I really like to carry, and I'm going to explain why I like to carry them, and I'll just kind of go over some certain characteristics. Now you're going to notice that, you know, there's kind of some key components here. All 4 of these are in a carbon steel. I generally gravitate towards carbon steels. Now there's a couple stainless steels that I kind of like. I've kind of found that I like the Nitro V, and I kind of like the S35 VN, but you know, other than that, I'm not really much of a stainless steel type of guy. So we'll discuss these 4 knives that I like to carry. So the models are the SE3, the Bear Force knives, GT EDC, Battle Horse knives, Patriot Scout, and the Becker BK18. Now you'll kind of notice that all of these are right around the 3 to 4 inch mark, kind of generally about 3.5 to 4 inch blades. To me, that's about the perfect EDC size knife. Not only he can, you know, 3.5 to 4 inch blade do just about most things you would do with an EDC knife, but it's also, you know, gives you a decent amount of standoff if you have to use it as a defensive blade, which that's a topic we'll get into later. And I feel like if you were just stuck with this knife, you can still do a lot of like your bushcrafty and survival type of task with it. You know, like I see some guys promoting fixed blade EDC knives that are like a 2-inch blade, and I'm not saying you can't do things with a 2-inch blade, but you're very limited, obviously. As you all will see, all of these are either a saber or a full flat grind. Actually, the SE3 and the Battle Horse knives, Patriot Scout, those 2 are full flat grinds, and then the BK18 and the GT EDC from Bear Force knives are saber grinds. So obviously you guys can see I'm a very full flat grind or saber grind oriented guy. Now, you know, kind of like I discussed with in my survival knives for tactical loadout video, you know, there's some certain key characteristics that I look for in a survival knife and a EDC knife. And, you know, part of that is obviously some things I've already discussed, you know, like steels and blade profiles and stuff like that. But we'll just take this SE3 for example. You know, I look for about the size range that I still can conceal carry. So I'll show you that, like, I could carry this on my person even with a t-shirt on, and nobody's going to ever really see it, and I'll show you how I conceal it. But I look for handle ergonomics that can still give me a good sense of direction of edge alignment, and something with a decent guard, because, you know, like I explained in my survival knife video, this could be potentially my weapon. You know, this could be the thing that you know, I'm depending my life on. So, you know, I want something that's a little bit more formidable. As far as like handle ergonomics, you know, I'm not really going to say which one I think is best. I think this SE3 is really good, but I think all of these are really good because they're all on my list here. Alright, so another thing that we're going to be talking about is sheaths for these knives. So for EDC knife, you know, I'm going to go out on a limb here and pretty much say I ideally prefer Kydex. Now, I don't think that's really anything too major. I know some of your more old school guys don't mind leather. I personally feel for like, if it's going to be up against your body day to day, it's going to, you know, you're potentially going to be dealing with sweat and moisture and you know, all these here are carbon steel knives. I personally prefer Kydex. And now I'll get into a caveat with that. So like the SE3 and the BK18, though they come with like kind of a thermal mold or Kydex-like sheath, the sheaths that comes with them from the factory are actually pretty wide, and they kind of make a more of an imprint and a larger profile. So I personally prefer something like a taco style sheath. Now this is for my SE3, but I like kind of a taco sheath, and I'm going to kind of throw a little plug here, but Armistice sheaths are still my favorite sheaths. I have dozens of these for knives. So if you want Armistice carry, I obviously use it. The logo's kind of half rubbed off on it, but I have dozens of these sheaths. But you know, I'll throw in a discount code for them if you ever want to try to get you an Armistice carry sheath. But I have these for several knives. I got one for my SE3, and I have one for my Becker BK18, and they're great knives. Now, the Battle Horse knives comes with a leather sheath. Like, that's pretty traditional for the Battle Horse knives to come with a traditional, like, more pouch style leather sheath, which is really awesome. But for EDC, it's not really what I was wanting. So I ended up finding a local maker, and I showed him kind of what I wanted, and he made this sheath for me. So that's pretty nifty. And I will say, out of the box, the Bear Forest Knives GT EDC comes with probably the best sheath out of all of them right out of the box. It's nothing fancy or nothing real special, but it is very functional and it's very comfortable to carry. Alright, so I'm going to demonstrate, you know, that it's very easy to conceal carry a fixed blade knife. And as you can see, you don't really see anything. I'm wearing a t-shirt. I'm not going to be wearing just a t-shirt for long. It still kind of has a bit of a chill out here. The good state of Missouri seems like it can't decide if it's going to still be winter or spring. But, you know, as you can see, I'm not really printing. I'm not showing anything. But we'll show you a little bit up close of how I carry the EDC fixed blade. Alright, so as you can see, you know, I'm just kind of looking at my waistline here. You don't really see anything. I'm not printing. I'm not showing anything. So, obviously, you know, I got Glock 19 on me at the moment, but off to the side here, I'm carrying right now the SE3, but as you can see, I tucked the knife underneath my belt. I used a belt loop here to go over it, so the belt and the belt loop is keeping it very secure. I tucked the sheath going into my back pocket. I could bend down, I could, you know, bend over. It doesn't really jab into me. It just kind of rides right up along my side here. It doesn't really ever poke into me. It's very quick and easy to deploy the knife. I can put it right back up. Alright, so another thing to consider with a fixed blade EDC knife is with both the Bear Force Knives GT EDC and the Battle Horse Knives Patriot Scout I picked out. Both of these actually has a 90-degree spine on them. So if you are like me and you happen to keep like one of these little light my fire ferro rods on your keychain, you know, you can always strike a ferrocerium rod with your EDC knife, which gives you some decent survival options. Now, that being said, even if I'm carrying the SE3 or the BK18, I always have another option, is my Cold Steel American Lawman here. Will always strike one too, and it's my everyday folding knife. We're just going to wrap this video up. It's just going to be kind of a quick discussion on EDC fixed blades. Of these 4 fixed blades that I carry, the SE3, the Bear Force Knives GT EDC, the Battle Horse Knives Patriot Scout, and the Becker BK18. Which one of these are my favorite? It just depends on which time of the year and maybe even what day of the week you ask me. I picked these 4 out just because these are kind of the 4 that I cycle through the most. Right now I've been carrying the SE3, but I kind of switched between all of these. All these are great options. Definitely check out Armitage Carry Sheaths too if you need a good sheath option. I don't think he has any of the Battle Horse knives to make a sheath. That's why I had a local maker make it. But I know he can make one for the BK18 or the SE3 if you so desire. So with all that being said, be prepared both physically and spiritually. God bless, and carry on.